Hello. Clap one time if you hear me. Clap two times if you're excited. Oh, it has to be more louder than that. Come on. Anyway, I hope you're just as excited as I am. I know it's been a long day, but hopefully a really generative one for everyone. So last night, I heard the wind howling through the brownstones, and as someone born and raised in San Francisco, I have to admit, I'm not accustomed to those sonic textures. While I found nature's breathing quite jarring as it rumbled and rattled against the windows and forcefully going through branches of the leafless trees on Halsey Street, I had to remind myself, and I've been doing this since I was a little girl to calm my anxiety and nerves, that somehow and sometimes the earth, the goddesses, and our ancestors are calling. Today, I want to invite you all to listen carefully as we study the ways of liberation with our next speaker and how refiguring the future entails a lot of hard work, and as Heather and I mentioned earlier, stamina and endurance. We must remember, in order for real change to happen, we all need to sharpen our cultural, historical, and political analyses. Dr. Taylor has served so wonderfully as someone who teaches me so generously through her writing, scholarship, and research. I know she will continue to guide us today on how to be better equipped for an inclusive future. As the author of From Black Lives Matter to Black Liberation, she leads us through the necessary examination of the history and politics of Black America in response to police violence in the United States. But she also provides us with incisive and sobering insights of how racial and social injustices are deep-seated in America, such as the location of the demise of the institution of slavery in 1865, which is the Appomattox, I don't think I pronounced that correctly, Appomattox Courthouse, was also the place of Freddie Gray's murder 150 years later. And I feel compelled to share an excerpt of her work, quote, "The distance from the end of the Civil War with the birth of Black citizenship and civil rights to the state-sanctioned beating and torture of Freddie Gray constitutes the gap between formal equality before the law and the self-determination and self-possession inherent in actual freedom, the right to be free from oppression, the right to make determinations about your life free from duress, coercion, or threat of harm. Freedom in the United States has been elusive, contingent, and fraught with contradictions and unattainable promises for almost everyone," end quote. She has also shown us the relationship between capitalism and its inextricable link to racism, and what seems insurmountable is actually not. But it requires hard, intentional, intellectual, emotional, and physical labor by all people. In her most recent book, How We Get Free, Black Feminism and the Combahee River Collective, she brings forth yet again the necessity of studying the political analysis of the Combahee River Collective, which is a radical Black feminist organization founded in 1974 and named after Harriet Tubman's 1853 raid of the Combahee River in South Carolina that freed 750 enslaved people. In this book, she welcomes us into her conversations with other groundbreaking, radical Black feminists. Now, I would be up here for a while if I had to list all of her accomplishments, but I feel beholden to speak to her research, which examines race and public policy related to American housing policies. She also has a forthcoming book titled Race for Profit, Black Housing and the Urban Crisis of the 1970s, which looks at the federal government's promotion of single-family home ownership in Black communities after the urban rebellions of the 1960s. Her work also looks at how the federal government's turn to market-based solutions in its low-income housing programs in the 1970s impacted Black neighborhoods, Black women on welfare, and the emergent discourses on the urban underclass. Dr. Taylor's research has been supported in part by multi-year Northwestern University Presidential Fellowship, the Ford Foundation, and the Lannan Foundation. She received her PhD from the Department of African American Studies at Northwestern University, and she's currently an assistant professor in the Department of African American Studies at Princeton University. You are a force, just like the wind I vigilantly listened to last night, and it is my absolute honor and pleasure to welcome you, Dr. Keeanga Yamahtta-Taylor.